Hi friends! So this blog post is a little personal and affects a lot of individuals and families in the US. We need to end the gender wage gap. If we want change, we need to be the change. Now imagine graduating in less than a month. And some of you are. Let's say throughout your college career, you've had an internship in the field that you want to pursue. Another student who will soon be graduating from Cal State Northridge, like you, interns with you. This student has the same major, same education, and same level of experience as you do. After you graduate, your boss hires the both of you. Except you come to find out they started off making $8,000 a year more than you. Well, plot twist, you're a woman. The Institute for Women's Policy Research, a DC-based nonprofit, provided us with the following research. The statistics came to show that if you started working at age 25, by 29, you've already lost $18,000 since you started working. And it gets even worse. By the age of 34, it's more than $50,000. And for women who are currently 59, it's $500,000. Today, a woman with a college degree who's been working for 35 years has lost $797,000 over the course of her career to unequal pay. Women earn about 78 cents to the man's dollar. For college-educated women who typically earn more, the losses are much bigger. Let's bring it back to the beginning of this paper where I told you that story. Remember, you put in countless hours of time into school and your internship because you knew in the future it will be worth it. Sacrificing your social life, time, and money. Now imagine yourself being hired in that same internship. Imagine finding out how much less you are making. Now, why is this happening? Well, according to the National Committee on Equal Equity, here are some reasons for the wage gap. Wage secrecy hurts women. Part of the problem is that wage data are largely kept secret in America, so women and minorities can be underpaid without knowing it. Secondly, suing is not a practical remedy. Taking an employer to court under the Equal Pay Act or appropriate state laws is an option out of reach for many women. There is a lack of incentive for attorneys to accept cases and can wreak havoc on personal lives and finances of the plaintiffs. When you take home less, you'll stay home more. Given their lower earnings, women are usually the parent who takes off time to raise the small children. That means they are out of the workforce for a few years, which lowers their earnings when they return. Even if they're equal in value, women's jobs still pay less. Sometimes the jobs dominated by women in a company are not valued in the same way that men's jobs are. Studies have shown that more women and people of color that fill an occupation, the less it pays. Market forces are not eliminating discrimination. Some say market forces will eliminate this, yet it has been 41 years since the Equal Pay Act was signed into law and 40 years since the Civil Rights Act was signed into law. Still, discrimination exists. Discrimination is intangible, but it's there. Discrimination takes a more subtle yet persuasive form. Women are not offered career-shaping assignments or spots on important committees. When women have trouble advancing in a company, they can't gain experience needed to lead. In this day and age, women are still told they don't make as much as men because the men have families to support. There are also stereotypes about what kind of work is appropriate for women, which hinder women's advancement in some fields currently dominated by men. Not all jobs are open to women. Women have a hard time breaking in the male-dominated jobs, as evidenced through the Department of Labor audits of federal contractors. Companies fail to address unfair pay practices. Many employers don't believe they are discriminating or that they have tolerated discrimination. But because of our socialization in America is not free from sex or race bias, it can lead to undervaluing women and minorities on the job. Lastly, current laws are not strong enough. The Equal Pay Act and the Civil Rights Act are important laws, but they are hard to enforce, and legal cases are extremely difficult to prove and win. Now, let's imagine ourselves in a different scenario. You're a woman of color and your parents moved to America from India with just $20 to help you live the American dream. For you, that meant law school. Majoring in legal studies at a top university in Florida, you job shadow a family lawyer and love it. After a pretrial hearing, another lawyer, a Vietnamese woman, told you not to become a lawyer, not to pursue your dream. She said you won't get paid. As a woman and of color, you're going to be underpaid and you won't be able to support your family. Therefore, there's really no point. Well, this was Reshma Daniel's story, and you just imagined yourself in her shoes. How did it feel? Someone telling you that you can't support your family, or because of your race and color or sex, there is really no point to pursue your dream. According to the Center for American Progress, here are some key facts you need to know about the wage gap and how it affects women. The gender wage gap widens with age and accumulates over time. The gender wage gap exists for all women, regardless of race or ethnicity. Single women face even larger, on average, gender wage gap than married women. The reason I have my title of this post as "Many of You Are Victims" is because the gender wage gap does not just hurt women, but it hurts entire families as well. Now, those stories I told you to imagine yourself in, how would you like it if you were getting paid equally in that job you got out of college? Or you're able to pursue your dream as a lawyer and you're able to raise and support your family as well? Well, how can we help change this so it won't happen to anyone else? According to the Center for American Progress, some actions that could shrink the gender wage gap are supporting fair scheduling practices, allowing them to ask for greater flexibility or scheduling from their employer without jeopardizing their job. Another action is to support pay transparency. Women are not able to discuss their salaries with their colleagues. They often cannot tell when they are making less than their male colleagues for doing the same job. And lastly, pass a national paid family and medical leave insurance program, because caregiving responsibilities most often fall into women and mothers. Women are more likely to leave the paid labor force to provide family care. After hearing why the wage gap still persists, the effects on the wage gap, and how we can help change this, I hope it inspires you for change. Because if we want change, we need to be the change. We need to end the gender wage gap. So, let's try this again. Most of you are full-time college students. Now imagine graduating in less than a month, and most of you are. Another student, let's say throughout your college career you've had an internship in the field you want to pursue. Another student who will soon be graduating from Cal State University Northridge, like you, interns with you. This student has the same major, same education, and same level of experience as you do. After you graduate, your boss hires the both of you. You come to find out you are making exactly the same. Plot twist. There is none. Now, how nice would that be?